Hey folks, good morning everyone, good afternoon, wherever you are. Greetings to you. Today I'll be sharing my experience to all of you about completing my cloud certification recently. Though I've just completed the foundational level for both AWS and Azure, Azure Fundamental AZ900 and AWS practitioner cloud practitioner CLF C01. These are the two certification I've recently completed. But before I begin to share my experience about how was my experience, I gave these exams recently sitting at home using my computer. I tested it. It worked perfectly fine for Pearson View, and it was an amazing experience while giving the exam sitting at home in your uh, in the same room which you are seeing right now. It was a wonderful experience when somebody is watching you throughout the exam. It was a little bit um, I felt uncomfortable for a minute or two, but when somebody spoken to me, they just looked around. They just even tried to see every corner of my room where I was giving this exam of cloud practitioner and Azure fundamental. They wanted to ensure that I do not have anybody sitting to help me. They wanted to ensure I do not have a single piece of paper kept anywhere to take help. But that was an amazing experience for an hour while I was giving this exam, and I cleared both the exam. Um, there was a difference between while I appeared for the exam 15 days. First, I gave the Azure fundamental exam, then I attempted the AWS exam. So that was my experience by giving exam through my laptop sitting at home. And they did not even allow me to keep my pocket this wallet. They asked me to remove my wallet to a different room, asked me to shift it to a different room. They asked me to remove all the books, everything, no paper, no digital asset, only walls. They wanted to see the walls. Even they asked me to remove the curtain and they wanted to see what is there. Somebody is hiding and telling the answers. So that is fine, funny. uh, and I'll tell you one thing. When it was in first attempt, all this time got wasted. The 30 minutes check-in time got wasted in this whole nonsense because unfortunately I was not aware that they want clean walls. I was not aware, and it took almost. First of all, there was a waiting as I gave the exam on Saturday night. There was a waiting of 20, so there was a coordinator who took around 10-15 minutes of time to have a conversation introduction session with me to see all this surroundings, whether I am not having anyone to support me. That was one thing. So my 20-25 minutes gone in all this stuff because I kept few of the books and wallet was there. I thought, when somebody is already watching me through the camera, what is the point of cleaning all this? But they asked me to clean. It's all four walls around me. So my 30 minutes gone. And what happened next? When I launched the console to get into the uh, choose the I mean give the exam, it said timeout. And then I wrote email to Pearson View, the customer service. The representative called me up. They understood what was the problem. They investigated. It took almost 2.5 day to sort out that matter. They allowed me to reschedule the exam, so I rescheduled it. But this time I was well prepared, that I cleaned everything except my bed and all the walls. That's it. And also, they were also aware this guy has already faced trouble. So this time they did not, made too much noise about cleaning the stuff. They just asked me to send out the pictures of the room. So that's it. So that was the experience through Pearson View, sitting at home, giving these Azure fundamental exam and AWS cloud practitioner exam. Yeah, let's come to the technical part. Yes, why I have chosen cloud computing. Let me tell you about. Sorry if I've not told you my name. I am Kamal Ahmed. I'm an IT consultant. I'm working as a consultant for last 5 years, and my roles and responsibility. includes application performance improvement. I take care of Riverbed, Steelhead, and the products of these vendors. Earlier, I used to take care of Ipanema as well. That is also for application uh, related to application performance improvement and run optimization and all that stuff. And I also have a background of networking, Cisco CCNP. I'm certified. I have even attempted CCI Lab in Bangalore, the famous center. Probably you have, if you have attempted CCI Lab, you know the Nageshwar sir or Nagarjun sir. Yeah. So that was my instructor when I was giving CCI lab. That was also wonderful experience. People, those who have attempted CCI lab with Nagraj sir, they know him very much. He's a wonderful guy, very strict person, yes, and very professional. I like it. I have no comment on this. But that was also CCI lab experience was a wonderful experience where I went from New Delhi to straight to Bangalore through flight. I stayed. That was a terrible experience, when I couldn't find a room to stay. And next day there was a CCI lab exam for me scheduled. Invested 1 lakh rupees and 30,000 and all that stuff in training and all. And I had to sleep in a car. And then early at 7 a.m. and I woke up from the car and went to Cessna IT Park to give that exam. That I'll tell you in another video about my CCI lab, how it went. Well, people wanted to know because but CCI is Cisco. It's a kind of odd technology. Concepts are same, but everything is getting virtualized these days, moving towards the cloud, and SD-WAN is becoming more pervasive. Internet has become the a new mode of transport. So that all been taken care by, overtaken by the SD-WAN cloud computing. Yeah, so let me tell you the reason I've chosen and opted for this cloud computing part. The first and foremost reason is this massive transformation happening from your in-house to the cloud. Everything which residing in the in-house data center. I'm talking about the application which are hosted on several web server, whatever you have, SAP, everything. I mean, let's talk about the Outlook, Microsoft Outlook. You're using it through Office 365. It's on cloud. It's a SaaS, software as a service. So it's becoming a kind of utility. When I say people, enterprises don't want to invest and don't want to go for a capital expenditure. It's not only about cost, it's about maintenance, management hassle. So they don't want, when they are getting something without doing extra effort, there is an availability, there is a resiliency, low cost. When I say low cost, it's a reasonable depending upon your consumption of data. These days, every bit of cost is either they're charging on basis of the bit. There are free trials also available from the cloud server. That is a wonderful thing. I myself have, account of on AWS and Azure on both portals. I explored so many services free of cost, and accidentally one day I used Amazon's Elastic IP when I was exploring this VPC, and that came as a nightmare for me when I saw 800 rupees charges, the $7 to $8 charges into my account, AWS account, but somehow I got a refund on it. I mean, I've spoken that this was happened as a human error, so that was sorted out. GST amount is still pending. I have to pay and sort it out this thing. So you guys have to take care. I'll tell you in next upcoming videos how you create an account on AWS and Azure portals and what all things you need to ensure that you don't get charged for it. There are free services to you for you to explore. Yeah, so the two aspect I've covered my experience with AWS and Azure while giving exam. Now I'm also planning for their associate level AWS associate level SSA C02 exam, and Microsoft Azure networking exam as well. So that is in the pipeline. Most probably by end of June, I'll be attempting that. And I've told you why I've chosen the cloud, because though that's the only technology I see at the moment, because everything is moving towards the cloud. Internet is becoming more reliable. Since internet is becoming more reliable and cost effective, when I say reliable, earlier the MPLS SLA I'm talking about, the MPLS used to give an SLA. SLA was the core part of MPLS. Why enterprises, why organizations choose MPLS as a WAN transport SLA. Now the internet security and SLA, right? Internet is also becoming more reliable these days in terms of SLA, redundancy, resiliency. You can have two multiple links, why you waste on an MPLS? You go for a one dedicated internet connection, which will be dominant on your firewall. You can have a broadband, 40 thousands of things, and one device can manage everything. SD-WAN. There are lots of vendors available. They're all connecting your own premises to the cloud, and cloud also have several way of connecting your on-prem to the cloud network. VPN, direct connect, several things are available. The only difference between AWS and Amazon is the naming convention. You might find differences, but concepts almost remain same. I'll tell you each and everything. Even we'll do the comparison of AWS and Azure and Google Cloud. Now let me talk about the market capture. When I was giving this exam, I just checked, just for my curiosity. Even though when it comes to learning, you have to learn everything, even Google Cloud, Amazon, AWS, Azure. All three are wonderful. All three have wonderful services. AWS, yes, is still having monopoly since it came in very first around, at an early stage, when hardly few people used to talk about cloud, that AWS started covering the markets and started having the availability zones and regions, that I will also be talking about whether these availability zone and regions in other videos. So market capture, yes, is still the leader in cloud computing. AWS, then Azure is the second runner up. Google Cloud is also expanding more and more data centers, availability zone in route India as well. So does Microsoft. But yes, that one thing I'll assure that Microsoft and Google will take over. Why? Because Microsoft, you know very well, who has a monopoly in terms of operating system, technology, and everything. So their team is working well. They are slowly, gradually going ahead. And one day, let's see what happens. But anyways, AWS is also a wonderful vendor. Yeah. So how did I prepare for it? For basic fundamentals, I got this certification preparation book which you can go bought from Amazon. It not costed me more than 300 rupees. If you go offline, you can buy it little less price. But yes, it gives the fundamentals, gives you all the fundamentals. Why I've bought the book, because I really don't like to read things on, and on internet. Although there's a wonderful documentation of AWS on and Azure is available on their portal. I will be sharing these links to you. If you do not have, probably you can Google it. You can find. It's not that difficult. But I love to read books, so I bought it. Even for Azure Fundamental, also I have books from Microsoft. But yes, I have taken references. I have checked on the portal also. I've tried the Microsoft Azure dumps available on their portals. After creating my account, they give you a privilege to go through training, and after training, they'll be giving you some example questions. They will be repeated in the exams. And trust me, after reading this book and after going through Azure fundamental, um, you know books available on the portal, it will be enough for clearing the exam. It's not very tough. Yes, associate level is bit tricky. Why? Because the question are very lengthy in associate exams. Both exams are very lengthy question. You have to focus on the questions, and there are tricky words in the question. The questions are very lengthy, but you need to pick out the tricky words. Sometimes resiliency, availability, cost. These are the things they focus on each and every question, and on these three topics, they'll cover all 65 questions: cost, availability, resiliency, managed services, and all that. So if you have a mastery over it, you will be passing these exams. No worries on that. Uh, I have taken out, I mean, few notes I've uh, written from these websites. So that was very helpful for passing out these fundamental exams. It took me, yeah, hours wise. It's all up to you. If you want to clear these exams, you can even clear it in 1 week. Eight, yeah, 40 hours will be enough. 8 into 5, 40 hours. But if you give only have 1 hour, you are a working professional, you give 1 hour. So you have a 1.5 month will be enough for you to give this exam. If for associate level, 2.5 month time will be good. And by moreover giving the exam is important. Also exploring their services is very important. When you explore their services by creating an account, AWS require your credit card details. So you do remember that, set a timer before it gets expired. You have to, you know, close the account or whatever deal what you want to have. If you want to use the service, up to you. But do remember that after 12 hours they'll charge you. It is only one. But for Azure, since I use my company ID, they did not ask me for a credit card detail. But for AWS, yes, they. Google also, it's not there like that. So I have an account on all three: Google, AWS, and all those portal. So I think that is enough for today. In next upcoming video, I'll be talking more about why cloud computing is taking over, and what is SD-WAN, what which technology you should choose. Go there, go for an exam. But for if you are just came out of your college, or you are just into an IT field, working as a service desk engineer, or want to get promotion, want to switch your profile, which technology you should choose, anything sort of this, just for learning purpose. Also, if you're a student, if you want, so I'll be sharing all these stuff, the links, and more details on how you can do that. What is the more important of cloud computing? I'll be doing a comparison of all three vendors. I'll be doing the comparison of all technologies. I'll be comparing it with MPLS. Even I'll go back to frame relay also if you want. Since I started my career, when I've seen ISDN used to make customer crazy, and uh, one day ISDN was fired in my for one of my customer, and he was charged. And then once he was charged, they charge penalty from our company. So that was the day I have seen. I've come from that background, yes. So I'll be sharing all those experience. Hope that will be helpful for you also, and will be very exciting to understand this. So I think thank you so much for watching. I don't want to keep my videos very long. It's just, I think, 20 minutes. Yes, 20 minutes will be enough. I think in 4 or 5 videos, I'll be covering all these stories. I mean, not stories, all this stuff, which will be very helpful for you also to clearing the exam. And let me know in the comment if you see any trouble hearing me, because I'm not using any mic. I'm very close to my camera. I have some trouble with my mic. I'll be connecting the mic if you want. Thank you so much for watching me. Take care and do comment. Wish you all the best. Bye bye.